Ever since Genshin's release in 2020, Jean has been one of my favorite characters, and she was also the very first 5-star I ever got, and is still to this day one of my most used 5-star characters in this game. But when I checked my rankings on Akasha recently, I saw that my Jean is only in the top 3%. I mean, now, top 3% isn't bad by any means, but I think I can get her a bit higher. So in this video, I'm gonna try to get her into at least the top 2%, possibly even the top 1%. But before I'm gonna jump into the game and actually work on my Jean, I want to take a closer look at the leaderboard here. Because with the Jean leaderboard we have a bunch of different rankings here actually. And my Jean is top 3% in the Viridescent Venera 180% energy recharge tier, which is just for Jeans that have at least 180 ER. And as you can see, there's a bunch of them from 140 to 200. And then also without Iridescent Venera 4-piece, so 2-piece combinations, and then we have also Iridescent Venera without consideration for ER. And depending on which one I click on, my Jean is actually at very different places in the ranking. Like here on the 180%, she is at number 325, but if I click on the 170, for example, then she's only 789. So a lot lower. And if you go to the one at the top here where it completely ignores energy recharge, then my Jean is only rank 25,000, so not even close to the top. But to be honest, I really don't care about this leaderboard here that doesn't take ER into consideration, because the way it's calculated, how high you are in this ranking, is by calculating the average damage of using the skill and the burst, and then also 2 pyrospores for some reason. And if you look at my E plus Q damage here, it says 42k. Ignore the other number here, this is from my old account, I haven't built Jean there, so we're just gonna look at the number above here on my main account. And yeah, 42k is my average damage, and then the one at the top of this leaderboard is doing 68k, which obviously is a lot more. But if you take a look here at this build, it's only got 105% energy recharge, and all the builds in this leaderboard are like this. If you look here, this one doesn't have any energy recharge at all, just the standard 100%, and this one 109%, it's also not a lot. Like, this damage you see here, it might look high, but if you don't get your burst, it's not gonna be actually that high, because on most rotations, you're not gonna have your burst ready. So yeah, this leaderboard is kinda pointless, in my opinion. So I'm gonna ignore this and not just go for damage. I want a balanced build with good damage, but also a lot of energy recharge. So I think it's best to just look at 170 or above. Currently, like I said, I'm in the 180% tier. And if you look at the number 1 build, which is Toronto Roadblock. Okay, that's kind of a funny name, because Toronto obviously is a very famous Jean main. But yeah, this guy here has 182 energy recharge and pretty good crit rate and crit damage. Actually not that far off from my Jean. If you look at her here, mine has a little bit more energy recharge, a little bit less crit rate, about the same crit damage. So yeah, very comparable build. But yeah, the point here is that I want to try to maintain this level of energy recharge, or maybe get even more, while getting a little bit more attack and maybe also a little bit more crit rate and crit damage. It's gonna be difficult because the build is already so good, but I'm gonna try anyway. You already saw glimpses of my Jean on the Akasha leaderboard, but let's go over the complete build here now. As you can see, she has 1576 attack, 51 elemental mastery, she has 80 crit rate, 187 crit damage, and 188 energy recharge. And also, of course, some Anemo damage bonus, since I'm using an Anemo goblet. I'm using the R2 Jade Cutter on her, and 4-piece Iridescent Venera. And this is what my artifacts look like so far, with an energy recharge Sands, Anemo damage bonus goblet, and crit damage circlet. Now, one thing that could possibly make my Jean better is getting an onset circlet, just so I'm more flexible in going for a different off-piece, because I do have some very good like flowers or feathers, for example, so it would be pretty cool if I could off-piece this, though to be honest, my flower and feather on Jean are also not bad. This one could be better, a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to maintain the same level of energy recharge while also getting more crit and hopefully more attack. The plan is that I'm gonna go to the Strongbox. I have a lot of artifacts, so I can get a decent amount of Viridescent Venera artifacts from the Strongbox. So I'm gonna try to get an upgrade through the Strongbox first, and then if that doesn't work, which to be honest is more than likely, I'm actually gonna use some Sanctifying Elixirs to create a Viridescent Venera crit damage circlet. So far, I've saved all my elixirs on this account. I've only used some on my auto account. I know it's probably not the smartest thing to use the elixirs on a artifact set that's in the Strongbox, but Jean is worth it. I just love her so much. Yeah, but let's try to get something from the Strongbox first. Maybe we won't even need to use elixirs. Okay, here we go. Viridescent Venera. And let's just put in 39 artifacts here. And see what we get. Okay, first one immediately not good. Probably just gonna skip to the good ones, if there are any. Because most of these are just gonna be trash. Okay, so nothing good in the first batch here. Let's just continue and create some more artifacts. Oh! A crit damage circlet with crit rate and energy recharge. Flat HP is kinda but it's not completely useless thanks to the Jade Cutter. But yeah, depending on what the fourth stat is and how well it rolls, this could be really good, actually. The rest wasn't good, though, so yeah. But at least we already got a promising crit damage circlet. That was faster than I thought. Okay, decent flower here. Flat attack, double crit. Could be usable. Attack sense with crit rate ER, EM. If this rolls crit damage, it could be really good. But I'm currently using an ER sense, and I don't think I have enough ER rolls in the substats to justify an attack sense. Like I said, I want to maintain the same amount of ER, but this is still not a bad artifact, especially if it rolls into something good as the fourth substat. And that's already it. That's all the artifacts I can use for the Strongbox. Just a few more here. Energy recharge with crit damage and flat attack, but I'm not sure about this one. This one really has to roll crit rate. But I think the one I currently have has attack percentage. I kind of want to... I'm gonna lock it just in case, but I don't think this is gonna be an upgrade. Okay, we can still do a little bit more at least. 2 more artifacts. And they are trash. Okay, but now we can do 1 more. The last one from the Strongbox, and it is Cryo Damage bonus with crit rate and energy recharge. Honestly, there are probably some cryo characters who would like this as an off-piece. Especially if it rolls into like attack percentage or crit damage for the 4th substat, or maybe EM. Could be good. But yeah, not for Jean. Okay, so not that many good artifacts from the Strongbox here, but that was to be expected. But we did get 1 crit damage circlet, and I want to roll that immediately. There it is, crit damage with crit rate and energy recharge. That's exactly what we wanted. Please be attack percentage. Flat defense. Okay, that's not what we wanted, but if it just rolls into crit rate and energy recharge, it could still be good. Flat defense. Okay, I'm gonna do 1 more roll. And flat HP. Okay, no, yeah, this is a fail. Damn it. It looked so good. But even if it rolls into crit rate and energy recharge now for the last 2 rolls, it's still not gonna be nearly enough to actually replace this one here. Oh well, let's take a look at the other artifacts that I got. This one here is promising. Let's compare. Yeah, if it gets energy recharge, it could actually be an upgrade. But flat defense again. So yeah, I'm actually not gonna continue rolling this because I lose 15% energy recharge if I use this, even if it gets more crit stats. And I don't really want that. Energy recharge is extremely important on Jean. Okay, so let's take a look at the sands that I got. I think this one was attack, yeah. Let's just see what the 4th substat is gonna be, even though I'm probably not gonna use this. Defense. Okay, it's not flat defense, but still defense. So actually not a good artifact. I think I'm actually gonna unlock this because the crit rate is a min roll anyway. And then with the defense, I don't think this is actually a good artifact. And we have this energy recharge one here, which, you know, if it does roll a lot into crit damage, it could potentially be an upgrade. But we're gonna lose out either on Elemental Mastery or attack, because we only have flat attack here. But if it was crit rate, then that could make up for it. Okay, EM actually. So it is gonna be less attack, but depending on how it was, it has to roll into crit damage on every single one now. And already HP. Yeah, and that's already it. That's not gonna be an upgrade. Or at least very, very unlikely to be an upgrade. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all the artifacts that I got from the Strongbox, and none of them turned out to be an upgrade. But you know, that's actually not surprising. With how much RNG there's involved in artifacts, even with the Strongbox, it's just so difficult to get upgrades for builds that are already good. But yeah, I guess that just means that I'll have to create an artifact with elixirs after all. Okay, here we go. Let's scroll down to, where is it? Viridescent Venera. Go to the circlet. And hope that it actually rolls well. We want crit damage. And for the substats, we want crit rate and energy recharge. Which is exactly what we had on the circlet from the Strongbox, and then it just didn't roll well. So even with these stats, this could still be a total fail. There we go. And, okay, flat HP and element mastery, actually not useless. Both of these stats. I would have preferred attack percentage over flat HP, but like I already said, thanks to the Jade Cutter, HP is actually not completely useless. I mean, it's not gonna do much, but it's better than defense at least. And it's actually a high roll on crit rate and also a pretty high roll on energy. Not the highest on energy recharge, but high. And actually the highest roll possible on crit rate. It's a good start. Let's just hope that it stays good when I level it up. With a little bit of luck, this could be really, really good. Please, game. Crit rate? Okay, great. Are we actually cooking? HP. Don't want that. But let's just continue. Energy recharge, I'm fine with that. That's A-okay. Energy recharge again. I'm not complaining. And HP. Well, I don't know. This does have more energy recharge, I think, than the one I currently have. Yeah, almost double the energy recharge, but half the crit rate. I'll have to see if I can compensate for this somewhere else. Okay, let's switch for now and just see what the build looks like now. Attack pretty much the same still. EM is actually a bit higher now, because we didn't have EM on the circlet before. Yeah, crit rate is lower now, it's below 80 now. 7% less crit rate. But we do have over 190% energy recharge now. I just want to know, since now I'm in the 190% tier on Akasha, am I still in the top 3%? Okay, it actually hasn't updated yet, it still says 180% ER, and I did click refresh, but it still didn't update, so maybe it takes a while. So I won't be able to check my Akasha score immediately, I guess. Yeah, so let's just see if I can off-piece something else here now to get a better build than before. I think the flower is our best bet. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's actually filter here, or sort rather, by crit rate and also energy recharge and I guess a little bit of crit damage as well. And immediately the first one we got here does have 17% crit rate. Yeah, I got this insane flower while farming for Kokomi. But Kokomi obviously can't use this, and funnily enough, I'm also not using it on anyone else currently. Because no one really needs an off-piece flower, you know? But maybe now is the time to use it. It does have really good crit rate, it does have HP percentage, which is not useless. The energy recharge could be a bit higher. I mean, if you compare here, I lose almost 10%, but I gain a little bit of crit damage. Let's just try it. Yeah, okay, so we do have more crit rate and crit damage now than on the previous build, but actually a little bit less energy recharge, and I don't like that. Maybe this flower here? It has decent crit rate and crit damage. Attack is not useless, even though it's flat attack instead of attack percentage, and decent amount of energy recharge as well. If you compare here, yeah, it's actually definitely better than what I currently have. Let's see, but yeah, then we have much lower crit rate than before. Better crit damage though. And energy recharge is over 190. So this is gonna put us in the 190 tier. The thing is that energy recharge really just decides which leaderboard they put you in. But then inside those leaderboards, all that matters is crit value, basically, and attack, I guess. And in terms of crit value, I don't think this is actually better than before. Maybe I can do something with the better instead of the flower. What about this one? It has flat defense and less crit damage, a lot less crit damage. Energy recharge would stay the same, but yeah, I don't like that we only have 7 crit damage on here. This one maybe? Why is this on Diluc? Oh, it's from Navia's set. I think, yeah, I used Diluc as a placeholder when I was farming for Navia. But yeah, this one actually pretty good. I mean, yeah, we have actually more crit rate, more crit damage, less energy recharge, but should be fine since we have more energy recharge than before on the circlet now. And HP percentage instead of flat HP. Yeah, this could be it. Okay, yeah, so we are over 190 still. 188 crit damage is pretty much the same. A little bit less crit rate than before still. And yeah, I don't think it's actually worth it losing 3% crit rate just for 2% more in energy recharge. I don't think it's actually possible to get an upgrade here. Even though the circlet is kinda good, it's just not quite good enough. If it had one more crit rate roll, that's all I needed here, just having at least 9% crit rate. Actually, one more roll would have been guaranteed 10% plus, because the minimum I can get is 2.7. And that would have been 10.1 then. Okay, wait a minute, I do have a very good energy recharge sense here that could be what I need if it rolls well. If you compare it to my current energy recharge sense, if it can maybe get the same amount of crit damage and attack percentage by also getting maybe one crit rate roll, I'm just gonna try. But as soon as it rolls into flat HP one time, I stop. Flat HP. Okay, yeah, it was worth a try. Maybe this one instead then. The crit rate and crit damage are low rolls, but it is a promising artifact nonetheless. Okay, immediately crit rate. Now the rest should roll into crit damage for this to be an upgrade. Crit rate again. Okay, whatever. Fine. Attack. Yeah, if it rolls into crit damage 2 times now. EM. I'm not sure about this. It's so close to 20 now. Might as well just do it, but we did get 1 crit damage roll at the end. This is actually not bad. This is really not bad, but I am gonna lose over 10% crit damage, while also gaining a lot of crit rate though. I gain 10 crit rate, which is 20 crit value. So yeah, I'm actually gaining crit value, I think, with the new one, but it also is less attack, tiny bit more elemental mastery. I don't know. Let's just equip it and check once again how the build changed. My attack is even lower now, which is something I also wanted to avoid. My crit rate is 83 now compared to the 80 I had before, but the crit damage has fallen below 180. Now this is enough energy recharge to actually potentially make a difference, but I'm really not sure about this build. Okay, Akasha has updated. I'm now in the 190% tier, and it's actually ranked 205 now. Before it was like 300 something, right? So I am higher ranked now, even though it's still top 3%. Oh wait, I think it's still showing the wrong build. Yeah, it's now it's the one with all Iridescent Venera. Not the one I currently have with the off-piece energy recharge sense. Oh, the skill does 16k now. I don't know if I like that. It did 17k before. Let's refresh again and see if it has actually updated now. Oh yeah, now I'm in top 2%, rank 118 in the 190% ER tier. This should be the new build, right? Yeah, with 83 crit rate, 176 crit damage, 195 energy recharge. So yeah, maybe I just keep this build. Even though it's a little bit less damage, it is gonna be more consistent because of the higher crit rate and higher energy recharge. Yeah, I think I actually leave it at that for now and call this a success because my gene is now top 2% instead of top 3%. It's not as big of an upgrade as I was hoping, but I think we can still call this an upgrade. Now with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, have a nice day.